95 Will Rock Daily Rewind.
I'm going to tell you a cautionary tale. All right. Where do I start? So, you know how you have those pill things, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, little plastic things you put your daily pills in.
Yes.
I got one. I put my daily pills in. I got vitamin and Lyrica in the morning. A vitamin, a Lyrica, and what else? Oh, and my blood pressure pill in the morning, which is a new thing.
I got a question.
I'm going to get my blood pressure down by going back to the gym, and also relieving a large amount of stress from my life.
Do you have the Monday through Sunday that also has the AM and the mid?
No,
and the, okay, so we're not there
all
yet.
In one thing.
Okay, we're not there yet.
I cleaned out my bathroom stuff, and I had I had like 30 of these things, and I have some that are more AM, PM, or a couple of weeks, and I might start to use those, especially after yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday I'm down to 1 day is left. Today was the last day that's full and ready to go, so I got to refill the thing. I have 1 week one of those. I don't do a 2 week one. So in the morning I got my Lyrica, I got my blood pressure medicine and my vitamin. At middle part of the day I have to take my second Lyrica, and then my evening pills are my Lyrica. So take 3 a day, 150 milligrams. My Lyrica, my cholesterol medicine, and my aspirin, my baby aspirin.
Yeah,
so those are
the heart attack.
Those are my pills.
Okay.
And then I have a jug of Viagra, but that's on a need-to-know basis.
Thank you for including that. You don't take a Viagra a day.
I know. That would be the other one that you're supposed to take. Maybe I would have that. Now I got a stabbing cabin. So last night I'm like, oh, I only have Monday left. I better reload. You know how you do a reload, right?
Yes.
So I just have my nighttime pills left in my Sunday slot, which is my Lyrica, my blood pressure medicine, and
your cholesterol.
My aspirin, my Lyrica, and my
cholesterol.
And cholesterol.
See, I know your pills better than
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little confused right now, and we'll get to that.
I'm listening, and I'm making sure.
I appreciate
in case
that.
You need me.
I told you this morning when I got in, you're gonna have to co-pilot the hell out of this plane today. I got my Lyrica, my cholesterol medicine, and my vitamin.
You take the blood pressure in the morning, cholesterol in the evening.
Yeah.
Go.
So I got 3 pills left. My Lyrica.
So you're doing
my
good.
cholesterol medicine, and my aspirin. So I load up the other 6 days because, I still have my Sunday 3 left. And then when I get done with that, I think to myself, well, why don't I just take those 3 now, and then I can load up that slot. So next Sunday's ready. Yeah. Just working ahead, getting all 7 Sundays. And it's nice and full. I like looking at it and having it being full. It's OCD thing. So I'm like, okay, so I'll take those out and put those here, and I'll fill up the Sunday one. Well, I'm going to start with the Lyrica. I end usually with the Lyrica because I got to put 3 in each slot.
Okay.
So I'm starting with the Lyrica with this one because I still have that jug open. So I grab the 3 Lyrica. So take the pills, and I go to fill the other things in for the other parts of the day, and I look down, and my Sunday night medicine is what's still sitting there. So I'm like, wait, I just popped 3 Lyrica instead of my 3 Sunday night pills.
Oh, no.
So I'm Googling, can you overdose on Lyrica, which is a pain medication. It's not like they don't give you the good stuff anymore, like Vicodin or a Percocet or anything. Yeah. It's below that. But it isn't, it's a narcotic. You're not supposed to take too much. So I Google how much Lyrica is an overdose.
Oh, no. What's it say?
So I just took 450 milligrams because it's 150 3 times a day.
Yeah, but you had already taken 2 earlier in the day.
So, well, let me go here.
Okay.
So I Google how much is an overdose, and it says 600 milligrams a day is the most you should have. So I'm like, okay, well, I only took 450, so I'm okay. And then I thought, well, I did take that other one at noon, so that puts me at the 600. And I also had my morning one. So in the past 24 hours, I'm at 750. And if you count the night before, maybe I'm at 900.
Okay.
So I'm at like a 50% above overdose amount for Lyrica. And I think to myself, geez. I want you to count down how many times I say F it. Okay. So I'm like, F it, I'll be fine. So then I'm sitting there thinking, and that's when I video called you and you didn't pick up because I was going to ask you your opinion.
I went night-night at 6:30.
Yeah, so Leah's not there to save my life. So now I'm like, F it, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. It'll be all right.
Then I got thinking and panicking, and I'm reading more about what can happen and, or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go try and throw up.
Okay.
So I learned at that moment that I would be a horrible bulimic person.
Could not.
I could not. I had my hand down my throat almost to my wrist. I think I sprained my throat.
Oh.
I also found out I wouldn't be good at certain things. So because I told you I might try gay, but it ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
So I can't throw up. I cannot throw up. So then I'm like, F it. F it. That's the second time I'm saying, you know what? I tried.
You tried.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching television. I'm thinking, oh,
this isn't how I want to go.
This is not how I want to go out. It says if you've had other drugs or whatever. I had some cold medicine. I may or may not have had a gummy that might have, affected my ability to fill my pill jugs correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and what makes me throw up? Malort.
Okay,
So I look
there we go.
So I look in the bin of booze that I have from the house. That I brought over from the house. Mm-hmm. I left some at the house. I thought she divided it up. I guess it was just a bin sitting there, and we still got to divide up the food. But I look in the bin, and there's no Malort. So there's bottles of Malort at the house, but there's none in the new apartment. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? I don't have any Malort. F it. And whatever. I'll ride this Lyrica thing out. Is this story okay? Or
this is good. I'm just wondering when you're going to the convenience store.
They're not going to have Malort at the convenience store next to my stabbing cabinet, but you know where they do have lots of Malort. You know where the owner loves to drink Malort?
Yeah.
Jesse Oaks. Adjacent to
stabbing cabin.
Chateau Tom. Mm-hmm. Chateau de Oaks is you got to name your house. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to run over and get some. Now, I had workout shorts, just gym shorts and a stupid T-shirt. And I'm like, I'm not going to get dressed to run over to Oaks and get some Malort.
No. You're going out of Malort, Ron.
So I throw on some shoes, no socks. I look like, basically I'm going to Malort and I'm looking like a mom or a lady of a certain in her 30s or going to the grocery store dressed a certain way so that you hope you don't run into anybody you know.
But you're going to the Oaks.
I'm going to the Oaks. I don't care. It's Sunday night. You got it's the degenerate crowd. And I'm in. I walk in. Everybody knows. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows. So I go in and I go in and by now in my mind I'm thinking these capsules have been in my stomach for a while.
It's in your bloodstream.
They're beginning to disintegrate. Mm-hmm. We're on a time schedule to get me horking.
Okay.
I gotta puke soon. So I walk in and there's Matt, who's the manager on duty, I'm assuming, or whatever. He's a good guy. I like Matt. So I go up, he's in a conversation with somebody. And I hate it when I'm talking to somebody and somebody comes up and just starts talking to me like the conversation's not even going on.
Yeah.
I try not to do that. Mm-hmm. So I walk up to Matt and I do that because I got pills dissolving in my stomach. Yeah. I'm dying here.
Yeah.
So I get from me to the micro 3 inches from him. I don't talk. I just stand there and he turns, he goes, "Can I help you?" Kind of laughing. He's not irritated or anything. I go, "I need a bottle of Malort right now." And he looks at me, and without saying a word, he turns and walks down to the bar, to the cupboard where they keep the Malort.
Oh.
Doesn't say a word about it. Opens the cupboard to get me my bottle of Malort so I can go home and throw up the way too much Lyrica that I've had. And he turns to me, and he says, "Oh, we're out." Jesse Oaks sells more Malort than any bar in Lake County, maybe the world. Sean loves this stuff. If you go play drink in hand volleyball, he'll have a shot with every team. He's one of these weirdos that likes the crap. So Matt comes walking back down at me, and I'm like, "Oh no, what am I need this."
Yeah.
I don't tell him why, but I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, we're out. We're never out or whatever." Oh. I'm like, "Well, what about the one that's out? The rail? Bar. No. What about the rail? The one that's out in the bar? They have it in." And he looks down and he goes, "That's where it would be." And it's like right in the corner of the main. It's like the number one slot in the whole, and it's empty. There's no Malort. And then So then I say what you just said. What about the outside bar? And he looks at me and goes, "Yes." And now it seems like he's joined my quest. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Yes," and he's beelining to the outside bar. And we get out to the outside bar, and the girl has
Malort.
Oh, half of
God.
Hallelujah! I'm having trouble with the dog.
Hallelujah.
So he's like, okay, here we go. And now he's on Team Tom, Team Malort. So he's like, "But we don't have a cap for it." And I'm like, okay. And I grab it out of his hand, like, yoink. I don't need a cap, I'm like, yoink. And I start to walk away. And he's like, I turn and I look back and I'm like, "I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
I'll explain
This is
later.
very important. I'll explain later." Let Sean know I owe him half a bottle of Malort. He's like, I'm going to tell you about this later. He's like, "I figured you would." And he laughs.
Yeah.
And so I go back home.
And away you go.
So I walk back home. Luckily, I didn't run into any other moms at the store. So I get to the apartment, and I swig from the bottle. More Malort. And you know how I hold a shot in my mouth?
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me puke.
I think so, too.
Because I swig, I free pour Malort into my mouth.
Okay.
So now I'm on like 900 milligrams of Lyrica, cold medicine. I may or may not have had a gummy, and like just chugging Malort.
All right, the liver damage is there.
I should throw up now, right? So I go to the toilet and I'm retching, and I realize the bathroom window's open so the people across the way can hear.
Can hear
close
you.
That.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm murdering somebody. I'm retching. I mean, I dry heave. There's a little, it hits the wall. There's a mess going on now. I'm on my knees in my bathroom, and I still can't throw up. So at that point, I say, F it.
We're at 5.
F it number 5. I'm just going to ride this thing out and see what happens. So I'm like, now look, I'm going to, if this kills me, which I don't think, I'm confident it won't.
Yeah.
It's Lyrica. It's not like I'm having, real opioids or anything good. So I'm like, F it. So I lay down on the couch and I'm like, I have to tell somebody. Because when they pump my stomach at the autopsy, they're going to find all this Lyrica, and they're going to find a bunch of Malort.
And
they're
it was
gonna be
an
like,
accident.
They're going to be like, he did it on purpose. He ate all that Lyrica to off himself. He's been a little despondent lately. No, I'm so happy. Just so everybody knows, management's told me. So I'm like, I got to tell somebody. So then I do a video call. I've been talking with my friends Jamie and Kevin from high school. Which has been nice to like connect with people that you didn't really, not even reconnect. That you didn't do a lot. Kevin's a good guy. Jamie's fun. You've met her. She's crazy.
In here, yeah.
She matches your crazy. Exactly. So I call them. I do a video call with them. I want them to see what's going on. Jamie doesn't answer. She's already asleep. She's like you. She's old. Apparently, she's watching Matlock and going to bed.
Tired.
Kevin answers. And I tell him the story I just told you. And I said, when they pump my stomach, it's going to look bad. It looks like he hated himself. He ate too much Lyrica to try it off himself. And then, because he hated himself, he drank Malort. He wanted to torture himself. It looks like him.
Yeah, it does not look good.
So I want you to know, Kevin, that if I don't make it through the night,
this is what happened.
It was an accident.
It was an accident, yeah.
It was an accident. That's the time that Jesse Oakes almost disappointed me and didn't have Malort, and Malort almost killed me. If I die, it's Malort that's to blame for not,
not helping you throw up.
Tom. Yeah. But I think it was important I call Kevin to say, look, I did not off myself. Or if I did, and me calling him and telling that story, I'm very good at offing myself. Yeah. And you people would think it's an accident.
An accident, yeah.
So pay my life insurance. So
that's a twist.
That's like a twist you don't see at the end. At the end,
there's
a
the
little
movie
plot
where you're
twist,
like, what?
And then somebody discovers, oh my God, he did do it on purpose. I don't know how they discover that or whatever.
I'm so glad that you made it in today, because you know how bad I would have felt if I missed your call. And
I'm the dead one.
And you're the dead one in your stomach. That I would think that.
Malort that's to blame. Yeah. But they say, and I feel okay, they say that it affects you if you have too much physically, which I feel wonky, and mentally. And I feel like goofy.
And you feel goofy today? Yeah. Well, you already say Lyrica, just your dosage that you're supposed to take
is a lot. This is my goal, to wean off of it and be done with it and just suffer the pain. The pain wasn't, I don't know. So, or go holistic and get a hot stone massage and clear my chakras.
There
I don't
you
know,
go.
whatever. I don't give a rat's ass.
I don't know. I don't take medication.
So that's the time that Jesse Oakes almost didn't have Malort. Malort failed me. Matt almost saved my life. Leah wasn't there for me when I needed her. And Kevin, thank you for being my unwilling accomplice in my brilliant suicide plot. No, I would never do that. If you find me dead, somebody did.
There was something.
Or
you took too much Lyrica.
I just pop them and I look down and there's my other pills.
I'm telling you, I just said I don't take medicine. I don't take pain medicine. I take my anxiety medicine. But I do that often. Like, I'll take it and I'll forget if I took it or
too
not.
Much?
I'll forget if I took it or not, and then debate whether to take some more or it's a.
I just straight up popped a day's worth, and I had already had a day's worth. So I'll tell you this: I'm feeling no pain.
How's your neck?
Where is my neck? What part is neck? Where is the neck?
I think it's somewhere between head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Head, shoulders, knees, and neck. Knees and neck. All right. Time for the...
Yeah, it is.
So there's the story of Malort not being there when I needed it.
Not being there to kill you. Or
also, I have Malort mouth this morning. Another reason I'm so happy.
So happy.
What a magical life it's become. Me with my children and my loving wife sitting by the fire, by the hearth, telling Christmas stories. No, I live next to a place where I can buy scratchers.
And run across the street and get emergency Malort. I think you're living your best life.
I got a pizza on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night? Yeah, I got a pizza on Saturday night. I have the nicest beer garden in my place in all of Lake County. Come to Jesse Oaks and hang out in my beer garden. I'm living the dream.
Kidding aside, your place is really nice.
It's a cool apartment.
It's really nice.
It's a cool apartment.
So,
yeah.
Enjoy.
I have.
Okay.
And I shall continue to.
95 Will Rock Daily Rewind.
There is a video going viral online right now.
Yeah.
It's like the most, if I was there for this, I would just die. There's no escaping the smell of this. You could almost smell this video as you watch it. So it's a poo canoe, and it erupted in China. Sewage pipes.
What is a poo canoe?
Sewage pipes exploded.
Yeah.
Sending human waste spraying up to 33 feet in the air.
No.
Dousing nearby vehicles and pedestrians.
That must have been a force main. So they just went and turned off the pump at the nearby lift station?
Uh-huh.
You don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
In general, sewer pipes are a gravity thing, and it's just flowing gently through there.
But
there's not that kind of pressure in them.
Isn't human waste extremely flammable?
I don't know. I used to stand in it, and other ditch diggers would smoke, I never exploded in a huge poop explosion and fire. I don't think so. Are you saying that you should be able to light your waste on fire?
I believe so.
I don't think that's a thing. Well, now we've got a wacky bit for the show. We'll get a 5-gallon bucket and a match, and we'll see what happens.
No, I'm not lighting anyone's.
All right, I don't think it's flammable.
No, I don't know why.
There's sewer gases that are flammable.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Methane and things
what
like
I'm
that.
Thinking.
That's flammable.
Tom.
In a confined space, I wouldn't be smoking if I was in a sewage situation.
Do you want to see? I'm not going to show you the video.
It's not somebody actually in a canoe, is it?
No, they're just calling it a poo canoe.
Because when you see people in, oh my gosh, that is a plume.
Imagine.
That's a poo plume is what that is.
Just imagine you're just driving down the road and an orange cloud of poop rose.
There's a plume of poo. You know what I do? I don't get my camera out and take a picture. I make a U-turn as quickly as possible. That's a not, don't waste time getting your camera. If a bear is coming at you, or if there's a flow of lava coming in your direction, or you're driving toward a giant plume of human waste, don't get your camera out and take a picture.
But do you know what's happening?
Go the other way.
Is it one of those things that you don't know until you're covered in it?
Something looks like that. I don't want to get closer. You know? This is these tornado chasing people. No.
I think it's one of those things. It's never happened to me before, but I think it's one of those things that it happens so fast.
You didn't have time to react.
You can't, yeah.
Or call of the void, like when you're standing on a balcony, you think, gee, what would happen if I jump? You're driving down the road and you're like, gee, what would happen if I drove my tiny car into the plume of feces?
95 Will Rock Daily Rewind.
I'm not sure I even told you this, but my best friend Michelle, who lives in North Carolina, she built a house. This is one of the girls.
Don't you have another person you call your best friend?
Yeah,
here?
Sammy and Michelle, two of my two best friends. One was my matron of honor, one was my maid of honor. I got to have two because one was married at the time and the other was not.
I didn't know that rule. I think you just made that up for your wedding.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. If your maid of honor is married, they're a matron. So I was able to not have to choose. That was my loophole to not have to choose.
I get it, but I think you created that. I've never heard of that loophole before. Yeah. That was I had just had two best men because I couldn't choose.
Because you couldn't choose. So.
And one was married and one was not. And I could have said my best married man and my best still enjoying his life, man.
Yeah, my smart friend and my stupid.
My smart friend and my subjugated, suffering friend.
Exactly. Right. You decide which one's which. She just built a house, so I haven't seen it yet. Want to go out there and visit her. So we booked a trip to North Carolina. I was supposed to go next month, November.
How much vacation do you get?
I'm like taking a long weekend. Okay. It's not even. Right. Got an email last night that my flight was canceled on the way home. So I'm like, okay, at least I could still get there. I'll figure out the way home.
What airline do you fly on, Leah?
Don't want to talk about it.
Spirit? We'll get you there. Home? We don't have planes that go that direction. All our planes only go east. Have you been to Portugal? You booked a round trip flight and they canceled the homeward bound, but not. Well, at least they didn't do it while you were there.
Oh, they're going to fly us east until we eventually get
around the world on Spirit Airline. When you die and go to hell, there's two doors. One of them is Hitler shoves pineapples up your butt, and the other one is you fly around the world on Spirit Airlines.
For eternity.
No, not even for eternity, just one time. They feel like that's your punishment, then you can go live in purgatory. Okay, so you're going to North Carolina. You may or may not come back.
Well, but they give you the options, right? They have to give you an option.
Walk?
The option is just so asinine. It pisses me off so bad. It's going to New York and then eventually getting back to Chicago.
Eventually? They don't even give you... It's a connecting flight. We don't currently have any routes from New York to Chicago, but we're going to fly you there. You can wait, and one day we're going to make a westbound. It'll be our first westbound flight. It will go from New York to Chicago, and you can be on the inaugural flight. You're like, next week? You're like, no, we don't have any plans. We don't have a terminal. We're actually just landing on a road somewhere and pushing you off the plane. Spirit.
No worries, because then this morning I logged in and they canceled our flight.
Well, there you go. You don't even get... Good news. You don't have to be worried about being stranded in North Carolina. What's the other good news? We're working on that New York to Chicago flight. Any day now. Any day now. Middle finger to Spirit. There's your middle finger and tell me something good thing. Kick off Tuesday.
95 WIIL Rock Daily Rewind.